everyone. I welcome you for this series of episodes called Happy Parenting and Teaching. In the last episodes, I was explaining to you what NLP means, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I also gave you my email ID. If you have any queries, you're most welcome to send an email. I will try to answer it in this series of episodes. So, we were talking about an outcome has to take place in the classroom for which the process has to be perfect. I also explained to you how in a computer system there is an input, there is a process, and there is an output, and how these two amazing persons, Richard Bandler and John Grinder, came out with this breakthrough idea that a behavior is a result of a program and it is not a random behavior. So we let's say that we talked about brain, then we talked about mind, and the mind has to connect with the brain. If my mind is engaged in what I see, then it registers in my mind. Now, stop whatever you are watching just now. I want to give an exercise to you. Look around in the room where you are sitting and point out every object which is red. Do that now, right? You point out every object which is red. Maybe you can make a small note, or if you are watching this episode with a group of friends, point out in this room. Then stop whatever that you are doing. Then point out every object which is black in color. Just do that exercise again. Right. Stop that and then point out everything which is yellow. Everything which is yellow. We'll say this table is yellow, that border is yellow, that pen is yellow, the watch is yellow, whatever it is. Now, listen. Did you notice that when we're looking for red articles or objects, no other article or color came to my mind or caught your attention? When you were looking for black, no other object other than black came to your attention. When you were looking for yellow, no other object caught your attention. Why? You gave such a command to the mind, and the mind commanded the brain, and the brain was directing the eyes to look at only those objects, which means you applied a filter. This is the mind interface we're talking about. You have to connect with the mind. Now, there were many other colors. Now, I didn't mention blue, I didn't mention about orange, I didn't mention about any other color, green for example, but you are engaged in 3 colors. So in a classroom, what happens? The focus is very, very important. The concentration that a student brings to the classroom is very, very important. If there is focus and concentration, whatever is said registers because the student is connecting. The connecting has to take place. The connection between the mind and the brain has to take place. But the question is, why are we not connecting? Let me go back to one other question I raised. Why do we do what we do, and why do we do the way we do it? Now let's take a student. He should do the homework. He should be regular in the class. He should be attentive in the class. But he doesn't do the homework. He doesn't come regularly to the classroom. He is not attentive in the classroom. But if you go and ask him, do you want to come up in life? He'll say yes. But then why is it disconnected? I'm going to give you a third component. Now, this is a very interesting word. This word is common in all the Indian languages. In name a language in India, you have this word. It is a word with 3 letters. Identical across Tamil, Hindi, or Malayalam, or Oriya, or whatever. Guess the word is called Buddhi. B-U-D-D-H-I, Buddhi. The word Buddhi. Buddhi, the English equivalent is intellect. Intellect. Now, this is that mindset which distinguishes between good and bad. Now let's say that this is good, this is not good, this is truth, this is not truth. I can eat it, I cannot eat it. I can say it, I cannot say it. I can drink it, I cannot drink it. I can drink it now, not now. I should say this way and not this way. If I do this, this is the consequence. If I don't do this, this is the consequence. And that is a result of this word intellect. Now, these children have brain, they have mind, but they are not mature enough for this intellect, the intellectual engagement of the mind, to look at such things which should be looked at, to hear such things which should be heard, to eat such things which should be eaten, to drink such things which should be drunk, and feel such things only which can be felt. Now, when you look at how the human beings are made, or how the human beings evolve, the brain is the first organ to be formed in the fetus of the mother. It is said in the first month or the 12th day of pregnancy, I read somewhere, that the brain cells are formed. That means the brain cells are formed around the first few weeks itself. That means there are two brains, the brain of the mother and the brain of the child in the womb. But there is only one mind. The mother's mind is shared between the mother and the child. I'm not going to the concept of Atma, soul, for the time being, which is a subject of discussion, maybe in a different context altogether. The child comes out of the mother's womb at the end of 9 months or 10 months. The child has its own brain, the child has its own mind. But what the mother has, the buddhi, the intellect, the child doesn't have. The child doesn't know that it is day, this is night. I can wake up others, I cannot wake up others. This is the place I can do this, that's the place I can do this, do that. The child doesn't have that intellect. It comes over a period of time. And that is the process of learning. That is the process of a larger thing called education. Education. Now, education is different. Education is not taking place only in the classroom. We get educated day by day. The quality of buddhi is very, very important. Now, I have been interacting with the class top rankers. I have been interacting with the students who make it to IIT and BITS Pilani. The only difference is how they use their faculties. The highly intelligent students, I don't mean by intelligent by accumulation of facts. It is not the data of facts that a person could have. I'm talking about this mature way to decide whether this is good for me or this is good for me. That intellect there. These children who are reaching to the high level of maybe a competitive exam or IIT or Pilani or a BITS Institute of Technology or whatever it is, they're highly intelligent. So the education should cover the three areas: the brain, the mind, and the buddhi. And my concept of NLP is, this concept of NLP is engaging these three factors. So we call it N, L, and P. It engages the brain, the mind, and the buddhi. How they are connected and what is the process? Wait and watch. More to follow in this series of episodes. See you next episode.